Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it's time again for another scripture art journal. And this week's scripture comes from Mark chapter 12, verse 30 through 31. So it's two verses. And it says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength." And the second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. Now, Jesus said this when he was being asked, what is the greatest commandment? Because you know how we are. We want the one simple thing so we can just, knock it out, handle one commandment and be done with it. Well, his answer was, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, this has really been on me this week, and I think it's always on me. This is one that always gets me. But I've been doing something consciously, and I want to challenge you guys to do it. And we were all created in God's image. And here's what's interesting about that. Christians and non-believers were all created in God's image. And God created us for a purpose and on purpose. And that means every person you come in contact with, God created them for a reason. Now, we don't know that reason, and they may not even know that reason because we probably still question what's our reason, right? So I've been trying to look at people through God's eyes, consciously do this, and I'm seeing such a difference in the way I treat people, because I think I've always tried to treat people nicely and be nice to everybody, but sometimes I make an opinion about somebody and I treat them based on my opinion, and you know how opinions are, they're never good. So I've been really trying to think, I love God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, then I should love his children the same. Now, this kind of runs over into everything. This runs over into your social media life, your actual walking around, what do they call in real life life? It runs over into everything. Just because a person is not nice to you, it doesn't mean you should return that with evil. I know a lot of times we twist up the verse that says, do unto others as you'd have done to you. We always go, well, that's how they treated me, so that's how I'm going to treat them. I shouldn't say always. There are times when we go, obviously that's how they wanted to be treated. Well, that's kind of taking the verse out of context. Well, it's literally taking the verse out of context. What we should do instead is treat people the way we would treat God, because they are his children and they deserve that. Now, I'm not saying we should worship them or put them on a pedestal higher than God, but they're his children just like you are. And I've been trying to change my focus a bit on people and people in my life and in my world. And, I am all over social media, so I get a lot of comments from a lot of different people. And I'm really lucky. I get pretty good comments. But there are some times where people will make really ugly comments or say things they would probably never say to me in person. And I get that. There's a lot of anonymity, and you're able to kind of hide behind a keyboard and a computer screen. But I don't want to be that person, and I'm not going to talk to you that way or respond to you that way. I want to love you as I love myself. I want to care about you the same. And so I'm really trying to do that. And I want to challenge you guys. I think it's kind of sad that sometimes we have to do these like kindness matters campaigns, or be kind to people, or care about this group of people. We have to remind people to do that. I think we should just care about people. The two things I want you to remember to take from this is love God and love people. That's it. If you can get those two things right, and I've said this 1,000 times in videos, the 10 commandments, there are half of them are your relationship with God, half of them are your relationship with people. If you can love God and love people, you get it done. Because if you love people, you're not going to do them wrong, and if you love God, you're not going to disobey his commands. So anyway, long sermon this week, but that's the thing. Love your neighbor as yourself. So the verse has been on me. My pastor even made a comment this week in his sermon that really made this one really hit home. And I thought, okay, this is the one we're going to do this week. And then I came into my craft room and I thought, yeah, but how do I put that on paper? Now, there's a lot of different ways. And some of you guys in our heart group, oh my goodness, your creativity is just, it blows me away. Sometimes I wish I could let you give me a verse to do and give me your inspiration. But here's what I did. I just went into my craft room and I looked, and I found this little piece of paper that says love your neighbor, which I think is so cute. And it actually comes from a paper pack by Illustrated Faith called Whatever is Lovely. And I love this. The colors, I love the black. I love these dark colors like this. Well, that was kind of my inspiration. I also went to Walmart this week, And they had this on sale. Well, not on sale. They just had this in the store. And I picked up all these colors. Well, as soon as I saw this, it reminded me of what this looked like. So I went into this paper pad and I pulled out the colors that I felt were in that floral arrangement. Pretty good. And that were sort of like a rainbow, but not exactly. Now I'm going to show you the next part of my plan. I don't know if it's going to work. We're just going to try it. So let me move this guy out of the way for a minute. Now I know that this is the size of my journal page. I cut this page to fit the journal, okay? These pages I cut the same size. I really don't know that I had to do that, but I did it just to make this process easy. My plan is to kind of lay these guys out kind of in the stair-step look and glue them down, and then have this sort of 3D effect off the page to make it like it's popping off the page, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do, I've got my papers in order of how I want them to go. I'm going to take this green sheet and I'm going to put some glue somewhere like this and around the edge. Some of it's going to hang off and I'm going to trim it away. So I'm just going to kind of start like this, and if I need to add more glue, I will. But I'm going to come up, and you don't really have to measure, but I may use my little cutting mat to help me here. I'm going to come up about 1/2 inch from the bottom and from the top and glue that page in. Again, I can always go back and add glue if I didn't get enough on there. But I think it feels pretty good. I might have even got too much. Let's just see. Nope, I don't have any sticking off. All right, so that's the first little bit. And don't worry about what's up here. We're going to trim all of this away to fit our main page, but we're going to use that main page as our guide. So now I'm going to take the next color that I chose to go up, which is going to be this yellow color, and I'm going to glue it down just the same, just like this. So put some glue on this page. I like to play with paper. Like I've always taught in my videos, let the paper do the work. A lot of times your paper is just pretty enough to do everything for you, and I love that. But I'm a big fan of paper, so this is kind of neat for me because it's going to kind of feed that love of stacking paper and looking at it together, and also the graphicness of the photo. So then I'm going to put another piece here and kind of spread it out about the same distance all the way up. And then the last one is the pink one, and I'm going to do it the very same way. There is a method to this madness, I promise. I think this is going to be really pretty when it's done. So there's everything stuck together. I'm going to give that just a second to kind of dry, and then we're going to cut the edge out. Now on the back, I know this blue is my main page. I'm going to trim everything away outside of the blue. So I'm just going to use my ruler. I'm using a metal edge ruler because I'm going to use my X-Acto blade here. So I'm just going to take this guy and just run it down as many times as I need to get through all of those pages. I may not have to do it much. This is a very sharp blade, by the way, on this knife. I got this from my friend Gareth. His store is G's Embellishment Emporium, if you're interested. He sent this to me and it works amazing. It's very sharp. So there's that set. Now I'm going to turn it and I'm going to cut this other edge off. Just knowing that the blue page is the size of my journal page. Now I'm left with this. Now my plan is for this guy to live in this area, kind of centered. It won't be perfect, but it's going to be close, something like this. And then I'm going to trim that edge off. So let me put some glue here. Then I'm going to trim away what I don't need on the edge. I just thought this would be really cool to kind of make this pop. Aren't those colors pretty? Isn't it very graphic and vibrant? And it's kind of like it's coming out of the page at us, which is what I was looking for, without adding too much dimension to my book. All right, so now I'm going to flip this over and cut this little edge away. And so even though that was hanging off the side, I still have the word showing. Some of that glue is seeping out still. There we go. So I still have the word showing correctly. Isn't that cool? I think that turned out pretty neat. I love the visual of that. Let's put this into our journal. And so this will sit in here. Oh, I love how that looks. I think that's very bright and cheery. So let's glue this in. It's nice too because I've been doing a lot of Christmas craft projects in my craft room and a lot of fall things. And so I've been working with like very muted colors or very Christmassy colors. So it's kind of neat to dig in and get some of these bright, vibrant, springy looking colors just for the fun of it. I love how that turned out. Now, I would imagine you could do the same thing and even use like a border punch or something on each one of these pages and get an incredible look. I think that looks so neat and causes that to be such a focal point. I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I really think this is cool. I love it. I just want to play with it. That's a shame. I just want to pet it. You guys do that? You just like to pet things? That's how I am. Thanks so much for watching today. And if you would like to join in with this scripture art journaling that we do, each week I give you a new verse, and we have done, I think this is about 37 or 38 weeks now that we've done. And there's my journal there. And you can see all of my previous pages over on our Facebook group, which is called Hide His Word in My Heart. Head over and join that group. We have prayer time together. We do a Bible study on Thursday night together, and we do our scripture art journaling every week. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.